All right, guys, let's check out another Seiko King Turtle. In case you're not sure what a King Turtle is, it's an upgraded bezel, sapphire crystal. This, obviously, when they do this, they do the candy bar, they call it. So it's the day-date magnifier. You can get that removed, or there's different techniques you can use to remove that, or you can even swap it out and put a domed sapphire crystal in there because, maybe you don't want a flat sapphire on there, whatever your choice is there. But before we get into some other specs and details on it, let's talk about the case size, because a lot of times I show the turtles on video and I just take it for granted that people have watched a ton of videos on turtles and they just know what size they are. But I should probably tell you what size it is because I do that with every other watch. So you're looking at a 44.9 millimeter case, so basically 45 millimeter case width, 47.3 lug to lug, drilled lugs, nice polished case side, and this is a cushion case, obviously. 13.4 millimeter thick, and I don't know if you're noticing that, but the sapphire actually the crystal sits just below the ceramic bezel insert. So little like tiered system there. The bezel metal is a little bit higher, the ceramic bezel insert is a little bit lower than that, and then the sapphire crystal is a little bit lower yet again. 22 millimeter lug width. The bracelet does the bracelet taper down? Shoot, I can't remember. I think it does. Yeah, so it's 22 down to 20, and then you have a stamped clasp system here for micro adjust, pretty much standard Seiko fare. Double pushers, fold over, nice and thin. And I gotta be honest with you guys, and I know a lot of people do this, I absolutely love that sound. And I have not found another bracelet that makes that sound. Even my Tudor with the ball bearings is a very satisfying sound, but something about the Seiko clasp system is just so satisfying to play with. I don't know how my Seiko Monster hasn't worn out completely, because when I wear that thing, I'll flip it back and forth. And I know a lot of you guys do it too, so you can admit it down in the comments. This is a safe space. You can admit this stuff here. So screw down crown, screw down case back, all that good stuff for 200 meter water resist. The crown size is a 7 millimeter. This watch was sent in by my good friend Mimo from Mimo's Jewelry out in California, in Long Beach, California. I'll put a link to his website in the description, and you can browse his inventory, his online inventory. You can buy them right online and everything. He has a spot for a discount code. So you could put Rob25 in there. That way he knows that I sent you from the video. And you can see on the case back here, it says special edition. Not limited edition, special edition. But many times special edition is, I know it's in the title, but is actually sometimes a little more special, or can become, based on history, a little more rare or hard to find later on down the road. And I think it's partly because they fly under the radar. People aren't drawn to them as much. They don't have that FOMO, that fear of missing out, because it's not like a limited production number. However, special edition, from my understanding with Seiko, means that this watch is going to be made for whatever that season. I don't know if it's that calendar year or if it's that production run. And then basically you'll see them, the inventory will deplete and then they won't make any more. That's the way I understand it. If somebody knows definitively, you can certainly chime off down in the comments, but that's what I've noticed and that's what I've had people tell me. So 120 click bezel on this, just classic, great Seiko feel to it. I'm 100% enjoying this newer bezel versus the older one, which was, let me grab, I know this is bad prep here, bear with me. The older bezel was much more like on the SKX here. So that is, in my opinion, a nice improvement. I really like the look. The older turtles, the non-King turtles, had more of this style grip to them. Still a great bezel, very classic. I just like this more machined look personally. There's the King Turtle next to the SKX if you're also looking for a size comparison. All right, let me pop this on wrist. Let me take this Tudor off so you can see what this turtle looks like on my wrist. It is using the 4R36 automatic and winding movement, so you're going to be able to hack and all that stuff if you're not familiar with that movement. and obviously it's a day date, but you can see on my 7 1/4, no problem. Turtles, most Seiko cushion cases, I mean, you can go way bigger than you traditionally would with a watch size, and it's still going to feel really good on wrist. Seiko always just feels at home. Once you become a Seikoholic, it's hard to pull away from that just magic feeling, and from their complete catalog. Basically, there's almost, certainly in the diver lineup and then other lineups as well, there was basically not a bad watch as far as comfort and packaging and just overall design. They're just such great, awesome watches in the affordable price region. Now this one is a little bit higher than we're traditionally used to. You know, the prices are creeping up. It's just the way everything is going. I think partly because well, let me back up. So this is the srpe39. 625 is the retail price, right? But check this out. Let's look at this dial. So this one is, if you look on the dial there, you can see very, I mean, they're subtle, but they're in there. So you have like the deep ocean look to it, and then you have those little shadowy like manta rays there. So this is the Manta. So it's like kind of like the Save the Ocean Manta. And you can look at the texturing on that dial is just mind-blowing. It's so cool. I mean, it's almost like, I know it's supposed to mimic like an ocean and everything, but when you look up close to it, it almost looks like an artist hand painting like the brush strokes on a canvas. It's just so good looking. Look at it even in the day date magnifier. I think I would have to leave it on there. I know a lot of people gripe about it, but it just adds to the dimension of the dial and the overall look and feel of this watch. It's when you start to look at it up close, which you're typically not going to look at it this close. I know you guys are doing it because, well, because we're just crazy, but I mean, this is not what you're going to be looking at on your watch. I mean, obviously you're going to look at it on your wrist, and you're going to see the beautiful blue and how it transitions to even deeper, darker, and then you might pick up those shadow mantas on the dial and everything like that. And then you'll look again because you forgot to check the time on it. That happens to us watch guys all the time. So anyway, guys, let me kill the lights so we can get a look at that fantastic loom. And then go ahead and click that link down below. Check out Mimo's jewelry. Awesome to deal with. He has free shipping in the US. So he's my personal choice for authorized dealer of Seiko in the US for sure is Mimo. So there you go, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll catch you on the next vid.